Hello, guys. Once again, welcome to The Balanced Business Dad, and welcome to episode 9. It is an amazing episode. As always, I have my co-host with me, RJ Campbell.
Hello, everybody. Hello, guys.
And again, this is Dustin Hoog, and this is the Balanced Business Dad podcast, where we go over the pillars that we think are important, that we strive for balance in. Starting with those pillars, we start with our faith, going into health, marriage, then fatherhood, then brotherhood, that friendship that we still need, and then we go into career, kind of in that order. But today, guys, we have an extremely special guest, a friend of mine, a fellow father, a fellow husband, another coach, a mindset coach, an executive coach. He has a lot of titles, and I'll go through that. But Mr. Mike Kitko. So, Mike, welcome.
Wow, thanks for having me, guys. It's a pleasure and an honor to be here.
Yeah, this is exciting. I have known Mike for several years. I've watched his career grow as he's watched my career grow, and we've been in a lot of the same networks, a lot of the same, and kind of have a lot of the same mindset. So I thought this was going to be a great episode to bring on Mike because, man, Mike has a story that really goes through so many of the pillars, and we'll touch on those. So, Mike, just welcome, and again, tell us about yourself.
Yeah, so first of all, as you were talking about that, it's fun to win together, right?
Absolutely.
Holy cow, man, cheerleading each other on and inspiring each other to greatness. That's like, that is the brotherhood, right?
Yeah.
So you said many titles. So I guess if I could really boil it down, it's self-mastery.
Okay.
So, and I love that title because the more the business owner grows, the more the human being grows, the more you grow, everything else expands around you. So when you grow, everything grows. And it's really about mastering yourself, your mind, your emotions, your choices, your decisions, your body, your mind, right? Your spirituality, all of it. So self-mastery coach is the one that I kind of connect with.
I like it.
But I'm the founder and CEO of a company called Inner Wealth Global, and it's about finding love and joy and purpose and passion and living life on your own terms. And when we do that, when we wake up to make a difference in the world, you become unstoppable.
Absolutely.
You shift from how can I get to how can I give, and how can I create a bigger impact in the world. And as we talk about the different pillars, that ripples and cascades throughout all of it. My family is better because I make a difference in the world. I'm better because I make a difference in the world. I honor my relationship with God more because I make a difference in the world, and I realize I'm on purpose and I have a mission, and my passion just seeps out my eyeballs.
I love
Isn't that a beautiful thing? We can be successful and good people at the same time.
It's crazy, right?
We can give and get, or get and give.
It's crazy how that works.
Yeah, mindset.
Yeah, I love it.
Heart set. That's
that.
heart set, right?
Yeah.
There's a guy named Robin Sharma, and the first time I heard him say that, he said mindset and heart set. I was like, that is it. It's about your heart set. How do you use your heart? Do you use your heart to try to get, or do you use your heart to try to give, right? So heart set, it's about understanding and having a powerful relationship with your heart, that you're more than just your bank account.
Yeah.
So.
Wow, that's huge, right? That's
all right. Well, thanks for listening. We've got a great message today.
No, wow. I mean, and that touches so much on that, every pillar there, but the health pillar we always talk about, we think of it as our physical health, but it's so much more than that, right? It's our spiritual health, our mindset health, our heart set health. I love that. So, Mike, tell us about your story. How did you end up here? What happened before? I mean, I know you have a story, so let's dive in.
Yeah, so Marine veteran, and I'm sitting next to another vet, so it's an honor to.
Or a Navy dad, anyway.
Navy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I knew there was a vet in your family, or a service person in your family. So Marine vet, 16 plus years in corporate America. I ascended the ladder. I went from individual contributor all the way up to the captain seat. I ran $65 million and $350 million operations. I was in the captain seat, and it was really cool and it was really fun. But for a period, and I got so far out of balance and out of whack with who I am and what I want and what I deserve. I got so far out of balance. I was going places I didn't want to go and working for people I didn't want to work for. I was doing things I didn't want to do, and I became 300 pounds suicidal. I had a very toxic relationship with alcohol and with food, and then that boiled over into a toxic relationship with my wife, and it started infiltrating my fatherhood and how I was treating my kids. kids, and there was lots of abuse and lots of neglect and lots of pain in my house. And and we, I would go to work, and I would my wife and look, we're 6 years into this journey together, and we've got the marriage of our dreams. So I want to share that. I want to anchor all the pain that I'm getting ready to share. We have the marriage of our dreams, but it started and it really built from abuse, physical, mental, emotional abuse of my wife and my kids, and sometimes sexual abuse of my wife, right? And I would go to work. She would guilt and shame me for what I wasn't making, how much I wasn't making, even though we were making a lot of money. She would point to people that were making more money than me and guilt and shame me. And as I was going out and working and leaving the door to go out and try to make more money to make my wife happy, she would guilt and shame me for leaving. Right. Wow. So she wanted the money and all of my time and attention and all of my all of it. She wanted all my energy and my dedication to her. So she wanted the money and that. And it was like fighting a war on two fronts. And I found it after a while, I couldn't be successful in either. And I got fired twice in about 20 months. From executive level roles, because I was fighting wars on two fronts, and I was caught up in toxic use of alcohol. My wife was caught up in active addiction. It was nothing but conflict and chaos raging at home. I hated myself. I hated life. I put a barrel of a gun in my mouth after I got fired the second time. And when I pulled it out, I said, if putting a barrel of a gun in your mouth typically means that you don't have anything figured out.
Right. Yeah.
So life as you know it, everything that you believe, everything that you think, everything that you're aware of, everything you've ever been taught, you've got to question all of it, right? So I questioned my relationship with God. I questioned my relationship with my wife, my kids, myself, my career. Like, I questioned all of it and said, if I don't have anything figured out, then all of that shit's meaningless. Let's build it from the ground up. And that's exactly what I did. And 6 years in, I've got a very, very healthy relationship with myself. Yeah. I love me some me.
I love that.
I love it.
So I love who I am. I love what's happening in my head. I love what's happening in my body. I love the way I feel every day. I love taking care of myself. I love putting myself first. I love living my passion. I love living my mission. I love living my purpose. And that has created a powerful relationship with God. That's created a powerful relationship with my wife. It's created a powerful example and relationship with my children. And I said example for my children because I'm showing them that you can literally only do what you love and still be successful. Right. They wonder how I don't have I'm air quoting, a job and still be able to fund an incredible life for all of us. And they see that you can build and design a life on purpose from the ground up, from who you are and what you want and what you love and what you want to achieve and what you want to create and bond with people that you get to be around all the time, that you love being around. And they get to see how, and they ask me, Dad, how are you doing this? How do you make money? What are you doing? How are we still affording all this stuff? And I get to share that, look, I was taught that work had to be hard and it was hard to make money and you had to sacrifice and you had to kill yourself and you had to do what your wife wanted. That thing about if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy, that's garbage. Yeah. Absolute garbage. Yeah. All of it's garbage. Put yourself first, live your mission, live your passion, live your purpose, and everybody around you gets better.
You can't make somebody else happy.
You cannot make anybody happy. It's impossible. Only they can make themselves happy. And when you stop trying to make people happy and you become happy, then you give them the opportunity to choose happiness.
And what a paradigm shift for you, because you were a people pleaser.
Absolutely, 100%, man.
Nobody was ever pleased.
No. Look, when you hate yourself, you're going to have a hard time, in any relationship. Yeah. You cannot. In my coaching business, and it happens many times, the conversation I have with somebody that I knew that I work with is look in the mirror and say, I love you, and they can't spit out those words. Wow. That's where I was 6 years ago. That's why you put a barrel of a gun in your mouth, because you hate yourself that much, and you can't say, I love you to yourself. And then they say, well, that feels weird. Exactly. Yeah. It shouldn't feel weird to say, I love you to yourself. And that's the gap to happiness. That awkward feeling of saying, I love you, and feeling a deep level of appreciation and love and acceptance and like awesomeness. I love me some me. If that feels awkward, that's your gap to happiness. We got to close that gap, right? Because you're programmed to hate yourself. So now we've got to change the program to I love you instead of I hate you. And that's the gap. It's supposed to feel awkward, and weird means it's working, right? If it feels weird, that means it's working.
And I mean, it's simple, not easy, but that formula. Do you love yourself? Right? There's the gap. Right? There's the gap for balance. There's the gap for all of it, right? What I love about this is, for the dads listening and the guys out there listening, this is what completely out of balance looks like. But starting with yourself first. You weren't in balance with yourself. You weren't in balance with your faith, any of that. Yet, you were able to realize it and get to where you are.
I felt like a mule. I felt like a money mule. My job was to make money. That was it. Not to be happy, not to experience peace and love. I was just a money mule for my family. Yeah. And then again, that brought me to my knees, right? I just wanted to be happy. I just wanted to feel love. I just wanted to feel peace. I just wanted to feel valued. I wanted to feel joy. And I didn't know how to express that because I didn't feel like I was worth it. I didn't feel like I deserved all of that. But I felt like it was my job just to give that to everybody else. Well, the more you give them love and the more you receive and accept love and feel love for yourself, the more your cup overflows and you have more to give the world. Right. My energy is infectious, and I have so much freaking love in my heart. It's more to give. But that love doesn't start just like by loving other people. It's
loving yourself.
I love me some me.
Putting the oxygen mask on.
So it's not the job. I mean, you had a high stress, high pay, tons of responsibility. That job could have still been okay and a good job had you loved yourself at the time. Yeah. Now, again, maybe you didn't love what you were doing for other reasons, but it's not that hard work and working at a job, a corporate job, and working for somebody else is necessarily bad.
No.
You just didn't have the love for yourself even to drive it.
But is it aligned for you? Right. So I went to work every day. The only thing I ever loved in my corporate position, right, is having somebody in my office helping them understand themselves at a deeper level, helping them get to where they wanted to go, helping them demonstrate and execute and leverage their talents and their gifts and what they wanted in the world. Does this sound familiar?
It kind of sounds like what you do now for a living.
Only thing that I loved doing in that job. And the other 999,000 things I did, I thought I had to do those in order to do that one thing.
Right.
And then luckily, God bless, I got fired that second time, and corporate wouldn't have me anymore because my resume was Swiss cheese. That's the only reason. Right. Like I was runner-up, and I was just trying to get back to what I knew. Right. So after the second time, I just tried to get back to what I knew, and I was a runner-up in executive level positions about 4 times. And I started getting you
got the hint on this one.
I think this door's closed. That window's closed. So I got to do something. And the first time I told my wife I'm going to start a business, she said, "No, we need a job.
You need money.
So we're not starting a business. You need a job. We need benefits." And that's when I started filing for divorce, and I did file for divorce. And then she opted in on a journey that's become a miraculous, beautiful evolution and marriage made in heaven and a dream life, I believe.
Right. So listen to that, guy. So if you guys missed that, to make his marriage better, he filed for divorce. Right? That's huge. And I hope so many people are really paying attention to this. Guys, we have to focus on ourselves first. If you look at the pillars and the order of the pillars, it's not till the third pillar where anybody else is involved.
Right.
Right? The first 2 are 100% you.
It's your faith and your health.
Yeah.
Right.
Right? And there's a reason for that because none of that other stuff can be okay until you're okay. And that's a perfect example of that.
And we've talked about this with health before. I think in the very first episode is, health isn't just don't eat Twinkies and hot dogs. I love Twinkies and hot dogs. Health is your mental health. It's what you put in your body mentally. It's your heart health. We're going to use that all over the place. Spiritual health.
Right, spiritual health. When I believed in a God that was judgmental and punitive and hateful and angry and jealous and violent, that's the kind of life that I live.
That's what you were living.
So now that I only believe in a God of pure, infinite, 100% unconditional love, that's what I feel on a daily basis. Show me your God, and I'll show you how you show up, right?
Yep.
So it's that relationship with myself that created that relationship with God, and that's that relationship with myself and God that allows me to share who I am with the world, like without caution. Right?
Yeah.
I just get to speak my truth, and you either love me or not. It doesn't matter to me. I'm still going to speak my truth.
Right.
That's beautiful. That's an amazing story. And then what I love to hear is how incredibly slow, I would say, you were. In 6 years, you have the marriage of your dreams. You're extremely close to your children. You're thriving career, thriving friends, and everything's just good because you realized it and you made the change and you put the work in.
And something you just said. A great relationship with my kids, but they're teenagers, right?
Yeah.
So I got a 17-year-old and a 20-year-old, so they ignore me. But with a 17 and 20-year-old, that's a great relationship when they ignore you and they don't mind yell at you.
Right.
And they're both daughters, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, well,
right.
They ignore us anyway.
Yeah. Look, here's my secret sauce. All right, I'm going to share my secret sauce. If I have a purpose and a mission in this world, before I was born, God gifted me with a mission. God put a purpose in my heart before I was born. And I'm getting emotional, guys. Before I was even born, before my first breath, God put a purpose and a mission in my heart. And I spent 43 years trying to give everybody at my own expense, and I neglected myself, and I ignored that purpose, and I ignored who I was, and I hid myself away, and I was so ashamed of myself and so in a state of hate with myself. I ignored all the gifts that I had in me, and I didn't think they were valuable, right? I thought if I could do it, anybody can do it, but they were easy for me because that's my talents, right? Those are the gifts that I have to give. Anyway, here's how I put my marriage back together. If you get between me and my purpose, you lose.
Yeah.
And I don't care who you are, and I don't care what you are. I don't care how close we are. If you get between me and my purpose, my mission on this earth, you will lose. I unconditionally have surrendered to my purpose and my mission, the reason for my very existence. And it's not. The reason for my very existence isn't to be a husband, isn't to be a father, isn't to be a bank account. It's to make the world a more loving place. That is my mission.
That's what I was going to ask. What is that mission that God put in your heart? And that's it.
To make the world a more loving place, because the more I can help someone fall absolutely head over heels in love with themselves, the more love they have to give. And the more love they have to give, say it with me, the world becomes a more loving place.
Yeah.
Right? Unconditional love of self creates unconditional love of others.
100%.
You get between me and my mission, you lose. And my wife, once I realized the mission and the purpose for my wife attacked more.
Sure.
And if you get between me and my mission, you lose.
Yeah.
And then when did she buy in to the mission? When did she see that? When did she see that's the mission?
Shoot. Well, the next day she said, after I followed, and I told her, and she laughed at me. She was actually high when I told her that I followed, because we had threatened so many times, divorce. And I mean, it was our go-to card. We should get divorced. And we said that we threatened each other 1 billion times. And when I actually did it, she didn't believe me. And the next day she woke up, and I was up, and I was downstairs, and I was in my living room, and I was on my laptop. And she walked downstairs, and she was crying, and she says, "I don't want to get divorced." And I was like, "Look, the papers are already filed. We had enough time to put this back together, and that's not what I want anymore. Like this chapter's closed, right? I am not living this life anymore." She's like, "Mike, I'll do whatever it takes. Let's put this thing back together." And we had about 4 hours of discussion, and we went to NA, Narcotics Anonymous, that night, and she did 90 and 90, and she had some hiccups. I mean, she had definitely had some hiccups. We both have along the way, and the point being is we started building from inside out, where she went to her neutral corner, I went to my neutral corner. We worked on ourselves, and now what marriage looks like for us, and there's an acronym, right? Get a piece of paper and write this down. Not you guys. No,
it'll be in the show notes, guys, by the way.
Write this down. Love stands for letting others voluntarily evolve.
I have written that down, by the way, in Mike's coaching sessions. I have that written down.
Listen to me. My job as a husband and a father isn't to train, condition, program, or get my wife and kids to be somebody that makes me happy. My job as a father and a husband is to find out who they are and help them be more of that.
Oh,
like,
wow.
And I'm talking about spiritually. I'm talking about politically. I'm talking about sports teams. I'm talking about in their health. I'm talking about with what they eat. I've got to get inside their minds, or I get to get inside their minds, understand what makes them tick, and celebrate that. Not tell them what's supposed to make them tick.
Right.
That's a box that we try to, like, there's 8 billion people in the world. And we think that we live in a little box, and we think that here's the right way to live, and it's garbage. Everybody knows the right way to live for them. We just have to, we're too busy looking for the answers outside. But it's trapped in your heart, right? What's right for you? The God that's right for you, the food that's right for you, the career that's right for you, the mission, the purpose, whatever. All of this stuff is locked inside of you. You're just too busy looking into other books and stuff for answers. Mm-hmm. Like you're busy looking at a religious teacher or a politician. All the answers are inside of you. We're just too busy looking in other places. That is what has helped me put my marriage back together and become a better father. Is I'm not here to program them to become who I want. I'm here to help them be who they are, and
help
that
them
comes
discover their own programming.
Yeah,
yeah,
right.
No doubt. Like if you think about it, and I was talking to a guy the other day, and I said, I was talking about sports teams. I was like, my kids would have told you, when they were younger, we're from Baltimore, by the way. We are Ravens fans. Right. We are Orioles fans. Who the hell am I to tell my kids what team they should root for?
Right.
Like, think about that. Yeah. Think about the simplicity of that. Who am I to tell my child who they should root for sports-wise?
It's purple and black or nothing. That's not your job.
We're Kitkos. Here's how we behave. That is manipulative, abusive garbage. Think about that. If we tell our kid, here's what we do, think, behave, act, believe, that is abusive, manipulative garbage. It's saying, I know the right way, right, and I got to get you to be that. That's not honoring the human being. That's honoring the program that you were programmed with.
Yeah.
At some point, we got to break the cycle and start helping people experience the best of who they are, not what we want them to be.
I love it. I saw. It's funny when you talk about that. And this is during the last political cycle, an election cycle, and it was a family voicing their opinion, but they had people in the family that had a different opinion. And one of the person wrote, "No self-respecting, insert last name here, would listen to that network." And I laughed about it, but now that's exactly what you're saying. Yeah. Hey, kids, you can't listen to a different opinion. You listen to my opinion. It's the only way you can do it.
Because it's the way that's right. And it's interesting.
Yeah.
If you look at this, because we talk about programming, and we know that programming controls our thoughts control our feelings, and feelings control our actions. Mm-hmm. But if you just look at the word programming, right? Everybody thinks of a program as a computer program. A program that is not right for that computer does not run correctly.
Right.
So what you're saying there is, if I'm putting my programming in you, whether it's right or wrong, that's the programming you're going in there. That might not work for you. Right
before we hit record, we had a spirited debate about Windows versus Mac.
That's right, we did.
And we know Mac's right.
If you take absolutely. So, and if you don't use Mac, you're broken.
Yes. That's exactly what was said.
But if you take a perfectly good Mac operating system and put it on a Windows computer, a perfectly good Windows computer, it doesn't work.
Correct.
And that's what happens when you take what's perfect for you and try to force somebody else to abide by that and believe and behave. And listen, I'm talking religious, political, economic,
health, diet,
all
exercise,
of it.
Everything.
What's right for you might not be right for somebody else.
Right.
You don't have the authority to make another human being in your image. That is abusive.
And for the fathers out there, and my mind's racing right now, right? Because I have 2 young kids that they model everything I do, right? That's the world, right? And it's one of those things that my son, we always say, Hogs are never late, right? Because we get on time there early. But am I being manipulative of that because I'm saying Hogs are never late?
Well, think of the pressure. Think of the pressure that they're going to be 50, and when they show up a minute late, it's going to cause stress and pain, right?
It's interesting because it causes me stress and pain.
They're going to feel a sense of shame for being a minute late to something in their 50s because of that conditioning. And listen, I've done a whole lot worse, man. so there's no judgment there, right? I've done a whole lot worse.
Right.
The point is we gotta inspect how we're how we're showing up for our wife and our kids, and are we really giving them, are we trying to gift them love, but we're gifting them shame at some point, right? So if you say, if there's a condition, you must do this or else, that is like, that's a seed of shame that you just planted.
Right.
The or else. Again, this comes back to God for me. When I lived in a world, and I was raised in a very religious household, and it was a very shameful theology that I was
guilt-ridden.
Guilt and shame, and God was an or else. When you see your God as having an or else, you're going to parent as an or else. Mm-hmm. And when you take that pressure of God and the or else off of you, you see, oh, you're already perfect. You don't need the or else anything. Now the shame comes off and the guilt comes off and the joy in your heart increases and the love that you experience increases because you stop putting so much pressure and stress and shame and guilt and conflict in your own heart and other people's heart. And the world, say it with me, the world becomes a more loving place. Yeah. And that's the whole purpose and mission of every breath that I take, guys.
Which is amazing. You know, my head's going through here right now and I'm thinking, through questions because as a parent, you do teach your children, right? And, my question is, what about the moral compass that you're trying to model, right? But by showing them love, the moral compass is pointing where it needs to be pointing.
That is the model. You're modeling love.
Which means the moral compass will point where it needs to point.
They'll find it. We don't trust each other to find our own moral compass. We think that the human being that's left to decide for themselves will hurt people. That's what we're saying, is that the unprogrammed human being will cause destruction. That's what we're saying. But you know what? Hitler was abused. That's where that came from.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? It hurt people.
Right.
Loved people, love people.
Right.
Loving people, love people. Hurt people, hurt people. It's your hurt that's causing your kids and your wife hurt. It's not your love. Right? You just need to resolve that hurt and the love will increase. The love will increase and you accept them at a deeper level. And when you surrender to that acceptance, their love will increase. And loved people love people. Mm-hmm. Hurt people hurt people.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the more you abuse and punish somebody for being who they are, the more they're going to lash out at other people. But again, I'm going to go back to this. We don't trust our humanity. We think that if we don't condition, train, if we don't program, then the default mechanism of a human being is hurt, and it's not.
No, it's love.
It's love. A kid is born
with love.
With love.
100%.
And then we fuck them up and train them not to feel that. Like that feeling is wrong because we withhold our love from them based on conditions. If you do these things, I will love you. If you don't do these things, I will withhold.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
And then they get hurt, and hurt people hurt people.
Yeah.
What happens if we just loved unconditionally and just showed up and said, no, don't ask. I do this exercise. It blows my mind. Adults, real adults in their 40s, 50s, I say, oh, can we play this exercise real quick?
Sure, let's go.
RJ, what's your favorite color?
Oh, boy. Blue.
I'm not feeling it. Give me another favorite color.
I thought I'd probably go red.
I just stole your favorite color from you.
And you allowed it.
You just
let me take your favorite color away.
I want my color back.
Who am I?
Right.
Who am I to take your favorite color away? Wow. It's your favorite color. And you just let me that easily take it away from you. And this is what we do with our life. We don't think we let somebody challenge our talents, our wants, our desires, our mission, our purpose. We let people challenge our beliefs. We let people challenge these things away from us.
Isn't it amazing?
And look how easily you gave it up. I just said, no, that one, what's your favorite color? No, that one, I'm not feeling it. That
I want
one
a different
doesn't work for me. And you gave me a different favorite color.
And now RJ's second guessing a lot.
Yeah.
So
now I don't want either color.
But do you understand the power and the simplicity of that? Is you don't have the authority to tell me what I'm here to achieve.
Yeah.
No one does.
Yeah.
We have that same story. Our younger son, who's an accountant, Dustin knows him, wanted to be an accountant. Went into college to be an accountant. 2 people we have that are extremely successful accountants told him not to be an accountant. Mm-hmm. No, you don't want to do that. He changed his major to computer programming. I did that for a semester, 2 semesters, for a year. and realized, I don't like computer programming. I want to be an accountant. And then switched back to the School of Business, and he's an accountant. It was that easy. 2 conversations with 2 different men got him to just change his life's direction temporarily to not be an accountant.
Check this out. You guys are both real estate guys, right? Mm-hmm. Investors. I've funded a couple deals, but I'm not in real estate. And in my coaching programs, it's 85% real estate investors.
Sure.
Yes.
You know why I don't do real estate investing?
You don't want to?
Because I don't want to. But guess what some real estate investors say? The only way to attain financial freedom is real estate investing. Right. And I'm like, yeah, that doesn't work for me.
No, I don't want to do that.
Right. Yeah, here, hold my water. Right? So the point is there's no one way to do anything. There's no one thing that's going to work for everybody. But when you go in somebody's heart and extract what they're here to do, what they're here to achieve, what they want, and help them understand that. To some people, like, a little is a success.
Yeah.
To some people, a lot is a success. Yeah. But sometimes if you look at some of the grind gurus and hustle whores in the world, they have lots of success, and they're saying that somebody else's level of success isn't success.
Right.
Even though the person with a little that feels successful is like, they're on fire, and they're enjoying life more than the successful person.
Right.
Right? I don't do things I don't want to do because I'm lazy. I don't do things that I don't want to do because I don't want to do them.
Right.
It's literally that simple.
No, I just don't want to do it.
If it's between my lifestyle and money loses. I'm not giving up my lifestyle. Mm-hmm. My lifestyle comes first and foremost. Again, it's what are your unconditionals? And when someone challenges my perception of financial freedom, when someone tries to challenge my perception of my relationship with money, when somebody tries to challenge my perception and my relationship with God, right? They're showing me that they're not a valuable part of my life. Yeah. They're showing me they're not here for me. They're here to change me so that they can feel better about themselves, and that means they don't have a healthy role in my life.
Right. Isn't this interesting that this all comes back to the balance?
Well,
by Mike going to what's in his heart.
Yeah.
I don't do what I don't want to do, so no, I'm not going to focus on that part.
It comes back to what's your favorite color.
Yeah.
Right.
What is your favorite color? You know what your favorite color is. Like my wife, it's beautiful. Watching her evolve over the last 6 years, right? We both have, but watching her evolve. The first time I did that, I was like, "Hey, I got this cool exercise, right? You ready?" And you can't coach your kids and your wife, right? But I said, "I got this cool exercise. Check this out." And I said, "What's your favorite color?" She said, "Royal purple." I said, that one doesn't work for me. Pick another. She said, royal purple. Like, I could have asked her that 10 times, and she would have not changed her color. Like, that's the household that I've evolved into. And that's the household that we've allowed to evolve. Yeah. Like, I don't have the authority to tell my kid what they're here to achieve and do. And they know that. And do you think that's going to increase the quality of their life?
100%.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, because it's not that shame, it's not that guilt. And guys, to bring this back, kind of what RJ was getting ready to do, is if you're balanced, you can't be challenged by the outside, right? And then that's what you're saying is nobody's going to take my color away.
That's right.
And that's huge. And that's all goes back to that balance because I'm balanced enough. I know I'm okay. Mm-hmm. You don't need to have my favorite color. Or this is my favorite color, and that goes so deep. And guys, wow, that hits every pillar that we've ever talked about. And Mike, we'll wrap this up, but this was an amazing story. There's so many nuggets from this, and so many of them will be in the show notes. Guys, please share this because every man, every woman, everybody needs to hear this message. We could not appreciate this anymore.
Okay. Guys, if you really, just my experience, if you really want to raise a loving, happy, successful, wealthy family, protect them from influences that would have them be less of themselves. That's it.
That's huge.
Can't say it any better than that.
That's it.
Write that down.
That is it. Protect them from influences. And listen, I want for my kids what they want for themselves. I want for my wife what she wants for herself. Now listen, here's the key. I want for my wife what she wants for her so much that if she doesn't want me, I want that for her.
Wow. I
want for everyone what they want for themselves, even if that doesn't include me.
Wow.
Check that out.
That's selfless.
If we have a few more seconds.
Of course. there's two forms of love. Now I'm gonna create a visual of an image in your mind. I've got my right hand. I got a fist, holding a fist with my right hand. Okay, and my left hand is extended, palm up, right next to my right hand. Okay, there's two kinds of love. There's right hand fisted love. You can't leave because of obligation or because of conditions or because of a contract or because God said so or because whatever, right hand closed, right? Or because I'll be uncomfortable, I'll be lonely, right? This is the way we look at love. That's not love, that's codependency.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right.
That's
100%.
That's obligation. That's guilt and shame in a relationship. The left hand, palm up, right? That's real love. I only want for you what you want for yourself, even if that doesn't include me. That's love, letting others voluntarily evolve. If my wife woke up tomorrow and chose not me, I would help her get that, right?
Yeah.
Even though it would suck,
yeah,
right? But who am I to pull her back into something that she's outgrown?
Yeah,
right.
That's huge.
So how do people find you?
My website is livesoulOut.com.
Nice.
LIVESOULOUT.com.
Live Soul Out.
LiveSoulOut.com, right? You're not here to play small. You're not here to play it safe until you die. You're here to live soul out. You got something in you that's trying to get out. You've got something in your heart that the world needs to hear, that the world needs to experience. Let that shit out. We're not here to play it safe and play it small and play it secure until you die. And I'll share this. Most people are clenching their butt cheeks and white-knuckling life and playing it safe and playing small and hoping they don't die right up until their last breath.
Yeah.
Okay? That's not living. That's dead man walking.
Yeah.
100%.
Here, Hunter, here's the truth. You are going to die. Your mind and body will perish, right? This is not a matter of life and death.
Father Time is undefeated.
Undefeated.
Yeah.
You've got a limited time, a finite amount of time in your human form. My spiritual form will live forever, right? I don't have a life. I am life. The point is the body and mind will cease operating. What you do while you have that body and mind makes all the difference in the world. But if you're playing it safe until you die, you're just dead man walking. There's so much more to life than that. That's why we're here to live soul out.
Absolutely.
Guys, this is amazing. Again, please share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. RJ will have all the notes in the show notes. And guys, we thank you so much for listening. Please share this because everybody needs to hear this message.
Yeah, it's a fantastic message. And if you want to reach back to Dustin and I, we always talk about the Facebook page, the group we have there at facebook.com/thebbdad.
Yep.
You can reach us there. Send an email to info@thebalancedbusinessdad.com. Get us that way. But yeah, great conversation. Mike, thank you very much for coming and giving us an hour of your time this morning.
Well, thanks for having me, guys. Like I said, it's been a privilege and an honor to be here with you.
Thank you, guys.
Fantastic.
All right.